Hello, everyone. Welcome again to another edition of Lupus Talks. Again, my name is Ed Peterson. Just again, another episode of another glorious day in our community as we continue to assist and help you build your worth of what you want to do in your life. And then also getting the facts and making sure
Yeah.
that you have what it takes and that you get the full understanding as to what's necessary for us today to help others that have lupus or those who are with lupus. You're not alone. You have a support system here with Lupus Talks with Lupus in Nevada. You can always go to the website at lupusinnevada.org, as well as the YouTube channel Lupus of Nevada, and then also as well the Facebook page Lupus of Nevada. So we got some great topics. Dr. Kathleen Williams, Mr. Dolores Olson, I call them the two tag team duos. That's going to be sharing some great information with you today. Dr. Williams, you can take it away.
Thank you so much, Ed. Um, I have my co-host Dolores Osteen that's with me, and today we're going to be talking about various autoimmune diseases. I think that's very important. And my information that I'm getting is from Psychology Today, YouTube, Cleveland Clinic, MedicinePlus.gov. I want everyone to know this is our disclaimer is educational awareness and advocacy. We do not tell people what to do and how to do. It's just educational awareness and advocacy. So bear with us. And thank you for joining in. Up to 40% of people with autoimmune diseases are misdiagnosed, often due to vague, overlapping, and fluctuating symptoms, commonly misdiagnosed. Autoimmune diseases include lupus, multiple sclerosis, which is MS, rheumatoid arthritis, Hashimoto's, Sjogren's, and celiac disease, often wrongly identified as depression, fibromyalgia, or chronic fatigue syndrome, and that's from the Psychology Today. Um, I was diagnosed because someone had actually um, gave me a drug that caused my lupus. So I mean that's something there. I found that out about a year ago, and I shared it with Ed, and my cousin, and them, and it felt bad. It felt bad that somebody would be so negligent as to put me on some medicine that caused my lupus. So anyway, got to deal with it. So lupus SLE is often mistaken for fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue syndrome, or mental health conditions. All those are in common with lupus. I have fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue syndrome, and mental health. And you should get that looked upon with your doctors. There are doctors that are psychiatrists. There's doctors that have rheumatoid arthritis. There are doctors that are your main doctors that you talk to. You let your main doctor know that you need to see those doctors if you're having a problem. They don't know. Tell them this is what you want to see. Multiple sclerosis, MS, is misdiagnosed as depression, migraines, and fibromyalgia. Rheumatoid arthritis, RA, is frequently diagnosed as osteoporosis, osteoarthritis, or other inflammatory types of arthritis. As we go on, autoimmune diseases occur when the immune system mistakenly attacks healthy cells, tissues, or organs, causing chronic inflammation, pain, and fatigue, affecting over 80 to 150 known types. These conditions, often impacting women more than men, can target joints, skin, or organs. While not fully curable, treatments like the immunosuppressants and anti-inflammatory drugs manage symptoms, and that's from the Cleveland Clinic. The common symptoms are, we're going to talk about this with Dolores, is fatigue, which is extreme tiredness, joint pain, swelling, arthritis-like symptoms, skin issues, rash, redness, and hardening, neurological changes, numbness, tingling, or brain fog. National Institute, that's another site that I got this from. Common types of autoimmune diseases are rheumatoid arthritis that affects the joint linings. Hashimoto's, Graves' disease affects the thyroid gland. Systematic lupus, erythematous lupus, attacks multiple systems: skin, kidneys, heart, What type 1 diabetes destroys insulin producing pancreas cells. Paralysis causes skin cell buildup and joint inflammation. Multiple sclerosis, MS, attacks the nerve, sleep in the central nervous system. And Sjorgen's syndrome attacks glands producing tears and saliva. There's also genetics, family history. They ask about the increase. They ask that all the time. Does any of your family members have this? Were they diagnosed with this? Gender and age. Women are more frequently affected by the men during childbearing age. I was 40 when I, was diagnosed with it. Um, I used to go in the doctor because I had hives all on my face. And when I was working in Silicon Valley, um, I had meetings all the time. And I would schedule my meeting, I would schedule my shots to get those hives off me. They were just big. I mean, I love the Elephant Man movie, and that's how I looked. I had hives everywhere on me, and they did it 3 days. They gave me those shots 3 days before my meetings, so that's how bad it was. Gender and age, as I mentioned, that childbearing age, two-hit hypothesis, a combination of genetic, susceptible, and an eternal trigger like infections or is the leading therapy, and that's medicine plus. We're going to go straight to you, Dolores, in terms of this. Have you suffered from any of these, if I may ask, symptoms that are going on here, fatigue, joint pain? Would you care to share?
Well, I suffer with chronic joint pain because osteoarthritis, chronic. I have chronic pain through the spine, and then I also have it in my neck too. And so I have multiple problems,
Mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm.
that, and then I have as well as scoliosis too on top of it. But I have a stenosis. Stenosis runs all the way from the neck all the way down to the joint, to the
You,
spine.
you have scoliosis?
Uh huh.
Explain that for those folks out there in Cyberville that don't know what that is. Could you
Okay.
expound?
Scoliosis is, how our spines are supposed to be straight, right? So when scoliosis happens, it can either attack your left or your right, right? And
Mm-hmm,
it make it into like a S. It looks like on the X, according to the MRIs and that when they take it, because the MRI will you can fully see for an MRI, but you cannot see it for a regular X-ray, and so it curves.
mm-hmm,
And it can
mm-hmm.
happen on any side. Mine is on the right hand side,
Mm.
in which they mistake it as bulging disc, but which it's not the bulging disc, it's scoliosis.
What are the effects in your body with that?
Um, it causes a lot of severe pain, but there's nothing what they really can do when you're older.
Mm-hmm,
Because mainly it affects more comes as childhood,
mm-hmm,
but when you become an adult and that there's nothing that they really can do about that. All they can do is just give you for pain management and medications for to help with pain. But that's
mm-hmm,
all they can really do because some will try to say surgery and that it's not necessary to
mm-hmm.
not to take it.
So that's a lifetime illness, right?
Yeah, it's lifetime. The only way you're gonna get rid of that if you have surgery, in
Mm-hmm.
which it could be risky.
What types of medication, if you don't mind sharing with the audience, that you have to take to suppress that problem, that disease?
I take gabapentin and I take meloxicam and then they give you Tylenol and they don't give me anything too strong. No,
Mm-hmm,
no narcotics because narcotics are not gonna just make
mm-hmm,
it worse
mm-hmm,
like that. So
mm-hmm,
they just do it like that. I had Tylenol a couple times, but in this time I had to kind of flip it
mm-hmm.
to ibuprofen, which I had to leave alone the meloxicam because you cannot mix those two together because it could be
Yeah,
dangerous.
true, true. How is it? How many times a week does it come about?
Chronic pain is like every day.
Every day?
It's every
Okay.
day. It's every day. But I just keep on moving and moving. I know I feel the pain in my body, but I just say, well, just get up and move.
What are your
Uh,
recommendations for those that have this type of exercise? What would you suggest? You're good with healthy eating. What would you suggest with those two things, exercise and healthy eating? What's your suggestion?
Well, two, number one, healthy eating. Yeah, it is important to avoid as much of the sugar, and keep a balanced diet. Get all your veggies in there and that, and exercise. If the easiest you can do is walk. If you can't walk, you can do chair exercise because
Mm-hmm.
it just depends on your condition. Because not everybody can do the walking, but you could
Mm-hmm.
do chair exercise.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've done chair exercise. I really did, and I did too much of it and had to end up in the bed. Last night I slept on a heating pad, and that back pain ache is gone. So I'm really happy with that. I don't have the backache because of that heat that I put on my back. So that's another way out with these different illnesses that we have. You mentioned rheumatoid arthritis you have.
No, no, I don't have rheumatoid
You
arthritis.
don't?
I have
Okay.
osteo
You have
osteoarthritis.
osteo. How does that
Yeah,
affect your joint, your ligaments?
yeah, it swells up because I get at the point I get swollen up joints, and this it swells up. And then
Mm-hmm.
when the best thing, the treatment, I had to use ice and heat,
Mm-hmm.
and ice and heat to kind of calm it down.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So basically, it's an everyday procedure that you have to do this. Am I right?
Yeah, actually, I'm literally supposed to do it every day with the heat and the
Mm-hmm.
ice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What about if you like to share about the Graves' disease? The thyroid. What affects with that? Because you mentioned that to me before. If you like to share that, please do.
Yeah, sure. And like I said, I also have lipedema too.
You have
Lipedema,
what?
lipedema.
What
Okay, how
is
you said
that?
lipedema.
Lipedema.
Yeah, that's in the lower back.
And what does
And so
that
I
do?
have that too. That could cause a lot of swelling. It could make you look like you have an extra hip. And so,
Okay.
yeah, that's how it can be because it's the swelling for the limp. I'm probably saying that wrong. It's probably limpa. I think it's limpa.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think that's how you pronounce it. But yeah, but with
I
the Grace, it's yeah,
I know,
it's
I
kind
know.
of an
As your
odd
cousin,
name.
my brother said, "Ooh, look at look at Dolores. She got an extra hip. Ooh, what is she exercising to get that tone?" I said, "Boy, you ought to quit."
I
I
know,
said,
and I said, well, at least I got extra back there
"Well,
now.
you toned it, but you toned it. You can't tell it. You really can't tell it because you toned it.
Yeah,
So."
yeah. I
Those of
just
you that are
look.
out there, ask Dolores to write us and ask us how um, what she did. And also, I want to say right here that those of you that have questions and inserts, insights into what we're talking about, please write us. We don't know everything. We're just giving you the information that we get off, off the internet. And if you'd like to be on the show, please do that as well. All you have to do is write us on our website. Ed Peterson will pick it up and we can go from there. And next week, I just want to share this a little bit. We have a wonderful guest that's coming on talking about insurance with lupus. And we very rarely find insurance companies that want to take on those of us with autoimmune diseases. So stay tuned. That's on our website, and the link is on our website too. If it's not, we'll put it on there. So we want you to be a part of that. Now, going back to your Graves' disease, the thyroid, how does that affect? Does it hurt turning your neck like I'm turning mine, or does it give you headache? What does it actually do?
Well, actually, it affects because that's a lifetime thing. Even though I don't have a thyroid, due to having cancer, I had that removed years ago, but I've been cancer free for so many years. But still, you have it because that is part of thyroid, and some people have it so bad that their eyes bulge out really bad, and then they get you could get some heart complications. Some people
Oh
get heart
wow. Mm-hmm.
yeah, because I know some people that had and they had heart palpitation because their eyes,
Mm-hmm.
the bulging or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
it was speed because of the disease. But it's different people. It just depends on the
Wow.
how bad the condition is. Some
Very
people,
dangerous, huh?
yeah, it can be very dangerous at
Because I
times.
have to take thyroid pills too, and my doctor said I have to take that for the rest of my life. So what if I decided not to take thyroid pills? I'm giving you an example. What do you think would happen to me?
You can put yourself at risk. Like if I didn't take mine, you wouldn't be seeing me now.
Mm.
I would have been, I would have been gone visit the Lord. The Lord's not through with me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but that's the consequences that can happen. Cause people just say, "Why don't you just get off of that?" That's the same thing. I said, that's the one that's keeping. Well, Jesus Christ is number one, but number two is that's why I always said that's a chip, that's a robot. That's
Well,
what I call it, the robot chip.
all these medications are so much for us to take, so much, and it's hard to keep up with all of them. But the Graves' disease, you have that under control, and the doctor does too. Am I correct?
Yeah, mine's is fine. Mine's is really fine. But I used to have my eyes used to bulge out really bad. I guess when uh they removed my thyroid, and that I didn't have so much of the bulging eyes.
Do you have the Hashimoto's? And I may be pronouncing that wrong, people, and correct me if I am, because it says it affects the thyroid gland. Did they ever mention that to you? Hashimotos, Hashimoto's
Yeah,
disease?
yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that was when I first had it before I got it removed. The thyroid. But still, I'm still underneath that for the rest of my life anyway. Because that is part of the thyroid.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
they do say it's all about too. With your thyroid too, it's all about dude. You gotta be careful with your diet too.
yeah,
It's very
yeah.
important.
Yeah, I know. I said, when my son said to me, "Oh, mother, you can have those Brussels sprouts. You lupus people all the time have a problem with different things you eat." He doesn't understand. So I ate some just
Yeah, he
to
doesn't
just to
understand.
satisfy the disagreement. And that night I itched like anything. I had to take a Benadryl
Uh
because it kept
oh.
itching and itching and itching. So I won't do that again. But we're not supposed to have, what I mentioned earlier. We're not supposed to have Brussels sprouts. So I did that, and I will report back to him. I'm not taking it next time. It was a dinner. He had made dinner for us, and him and his better half, and it was a beautiful dinner. And I kind of didn't want to spoil it. And that's what I mentioned to lupus people some time ago in some episode, that when the family's there and they got all this food there, they expect you to eat this. And if you don't eat a certain dish that they made, they get upset and they say, "I don't know why you can't eat my dish because my dish was prepared for you, and I want to know what you think of it." You see what I'm saying? So we're caught in a crossing a crossfire. I know now what to say next time, and this might be an example for the people that have lupus out there who are who are affected by this, just like the celiac disease with the bread, um, not to eat it. I'm sorry, I can't have it. It affects my body. And so that's my lingo. That's what I'm going to say next time. It affects me, and I just can't have it. Well, you had it last time, and I itched all night. So they want you to eat the same thing they eat, and we can't do that. And that's hard when we're sitting down there with the whole family at the dinner table and they're passing the food around. You know what I'm saying, Dolores?
Oh yeah, like example at the new church that I went to. Oh, they're beautiful people, right? But they're from a different culture. So what you gonna see? Shrimp up there, right? I like. Oh no, I said I can't eat the shrimp. It's the only. She said, "Are you special? Are you have restrictions?" I said, "Yep." Like
Mm-hmm.
that. And so she went over there to her. She said, "Well, she said there's some vegetables there, then there's some rice." and uh,
We,
and then when you eat at the table, the girl's cute. She goes, "You eat shrimp?" Like that. I said, "Oh no, I can't." I said, "I'll be in big trouble. I will need a Benadryl." She said, "Oh, just stick with that."
oh my goodness. So you come out with a little salad.
That
I've
was
been reading,
cute.
there's some
Yeah.
conversation on the type of meats that are being put out there. I don't know if it's false information, whatever, but it's got me to the point that I just may go the same way you're going. The meat that's out there is not the real meat. It's fake meat. It's been altered. And my question is, if they want to give us all this fake meat, what are they going to do with the animals out there that God created? They're going to kill them and throw them in the river? Because there's
That's
enough
kind of
animals out
interesting.
there for all of us, to have good food. And I know over there in Germany, they don't put up with this. They give that good food over there. There's a minister friend, an apostle that lives over there, and listening to what, they say and other people say over there, they have good food. She hasn't said anything about it, but when Putin got on and said, we have good food, and the nutritionist talked about it, we don't have that. We don't do the same thing you guys do over there. We give real food. What is she? So that's what I think. It's hard for me, but I think I may be going that way. Just eat my fish and leave the meats alone, because I don't want to be eating something wrong or eating a human. You know what I'm saying? Because they found human parts. I think it was in Arizona just recently, and they caught them in the act. uh, and it's sickening. It's sad what they're doing to people that can't take up for themselves, and we don't know when our families pass away. And it's supposed to be, all fixed up and ready for the funeral. What's really happening? Or they after the funeral they take them back in and they chop chop chop. Now this is just my opinion. This is not Lupus's opinion. It's Dr. Calvin Williams's opinion. I've been reading. I don't know if it's false or not, but am talking about taking the high road for me. And I know Dolores is going to be very happy with that, because I'm thinking about just changing over, period.
And
So,
that'd be really, really good too. And like I said, if you guys ever decide to do a diet of a vegetarian and pescatarian, you just got to make sure that you balance your protein. It's very, very important to have enough protein. Because I remember when I first started out, I didn't have enough protein, and I really dragged myself down when they took my uh, protein levels. They found that was way too low.
what
And
types of
so
protein? I'm
you
sorry
got
for.
any forms, any forms that you can get a protein. This long as you're getting a protein at every meal, and it's what's recommended each day.
What would you recommend for a protein?
There's some so let's say, because with fish you're limited only 3 times a week or 2 times a week. I do 3
Yeah.
times a week because I take fish oil, and so I do it 2 times a week. And so with that, you could replace it with there's grains with high protein grains and stuff out
Mm-hmm.
there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you just really the spinach. Spinach has a lot of protein in it. It have iron. I mean, yeah, iron. It has a lot of iron because you're gonna have to, and you gotta make sure you have your B12 too. It's very
Yeah.
because you're gonna be losing your B12 from for the animal base. But just make sure
Oh,
you
yeah.
take a good healthy B12. But there's
Mm-hmm.
a list of things that you can really look up
So
on.
we need to just look it
But there's
up. Look it
peanut.
up
If you can't
online,
have
huh?
peanut butter, it depends on your. I don't know if you're allergic to peanut butter or whatever. But if you can, there's
Yeah,
all
I
natural
am.
peanut butter. If you can't, there's other options. Maybe there's also almond butter. Almond butter is really good too.
I'm
It's
allergic to that too.
yeah. So if, yeah. So
I'm
if there's a
sorry.
lot, if there's a lot of people that's allergic to, I mean, if you can do the nuts, you can do the nuts. But if you can't, there's other ones you can just really look it up. Just really look it up on
Well, let
online,
me
and
go
it'll tell
back
you a
on
list.
peanut butter. I can get away with just a little spoonful. I can. I can get
Oh,
away with
okay.
that. But when it goes more than that, I'm in
No,
trouble.
no, no, no. You just need enough for us to recommend because you got to just look on the label. Let's say if the peanut butter for peanut butter, let's say maybe it
Organic. I
was
should get
two.
organic.
Yeah, I always get organic. I recommend organic or all natural because all
Okay.
natural is pretty close to organic.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I always get the all natural, even if it's a teaspoon. Like they said, when you do your oats, if you can do with oats, some people can't do with oats. You gotta have some protein with that because that's carbohydrates right there. So you gotta add some protein to it.
So when you change your diet, how many times a day do you have to eat? You know, because it's being changed.
Well, you always recommend. They always recommend that you have five. What I mean by five is just having your snacks. Because that includes your snacks,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why it equals up to five. And that's what's
Mm-hmm.
recommended because as what happens, you start spiking for other things and that. But you want to make those snacks a nutrition. Get some fruit, have some fruit. Don't like a snack on a whole bunch of crackers or have a
Mm-hmm.
donut or something like that. No, that's not a good choice. You want to
Mm-hmm.
make it a healthy choice, even if it's a
Mm-hmm.
piece of whole grain toast or something like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
And that'd be good with some olive oil, butter,
Mm-hmm.
or
Oh
something
yeah.
like that. So that'd be good too. That's a
Mm-hmm.
good snack too. But
Mm-hmm.
just make
Mm-hmm.
sure it's like 100%.
What about the cream of wheat, organic cream of wheat? Because I eat that now and then. My son bought it for me. That's
That's
pretty good.
very good. That's
Okay,
very
that's
good.
what I love that. I love it.
And you can get away without the sugar with that. If you use
Mm-hmm.
date syrup is really good too.
Mm-hmm.
And that
Mm-hmm.
too, a tablespoon, teaspoon or whatever's recommended on there. You put in there, and it kind of sweetens it up
Mm-hmm. What
instead of
about the
sugar.
organic sugar?
Organic sugar, well, to me, sugar is sugar, but
Okay.
it is a lot better for you because it doesn't have any chemicals. So
Mm-hmm.
anything that you do has to be in moderation.
Mm-hmm. 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 Okay.
Everything in moderation.
Okay. Ed, are we close to closing? He's doing something else. Well, I guess we keep on, huh?
Yeah, but
I
if you can do some berries, I don't know.
I
Everybody's
love
like,
berries.
especially, and I know some
Mm-hmm.
people with lupus, they probably have some problems with berries too.
I had the berries, the strawberries, the berries, the bananas my brother fixed for me, and an avocado cut.
Oh,
And that
that's
was,
good.
oh, that was just heaven to me.
Yeah, that's a healthy. Like with me, I'm not supposed to have too much avocados, but a half of one, I'll
Mm-hmm.
be fine. I could do fine with a half, but this don't do a whole, as I'm gonna be itching.
Mm-hmm.
I eat a whole one,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm like, oops, I in trouble. I ate the whole one,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm in trouble itching. But a half of
Mm-hmm.
one, it don't bother me.
I love avocado. Love it.
Yep, it's
Okay.
very
Well,
good. But everybody has a different. It
uh-huh.
depends on their lifestyle, how it is. Some people's allergic to it. Some people can't tolerate it to it. But like I said, good berries, from a good, uh, they said, like they always say, eat the
Mm-hmm.
rainbow. That's talking about with your, leafy vegetables, your bright, the fruits, all those colors from the fruits, from the berries
Mm-hmm.
and
What
all.
about those? What about those suffering from type 1 diabetes? What would their um, food regimen be?
Okay, now with that, half of your plate is supposed to be vegetables, and then you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna have so much grains, and then you're gonna have so much of your protein.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So let's say if you have a sweet potato, you're only allowed to have a half of it of a sweet
Mm.
potato, not a whole sweet potato.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you gotta kind of keep that balance, but most of that plate is supposed to be vegetables, like some salad
Oh,
could
okay.
fill out that half. But if you do
Okay.
like yeah, 'cause even with yams, it's still sugar and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. That's why it's only good for half, 'cause they need sulfur
Oh,
with sugar.
okay. Well, this is good information to know, because we
Uh-huh.
need to know this as, to keep up, to help us have better lives, to keep us
Yeah.
on this earth a little bit more, than to eat all the bad food. And we love it, but we have to eat right.
Yes, because
So,
even with me, I'm not diabetic or anything, but I still they recommend me because I push myself back to a dietitian so they can help me out again to
mm,
balance out things. Which I thought that was a good idea for me to do that because I do have a history in the family, so they just give me a plate like a diabetic. But they said we know you're not diabetic, but that will help me out.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay. Wow. Well, I know it's important for me because when I go in there, they ask me, "Are you diabetic?" And I said, "Why would you ask that?" Well, you're on prednisone. those of you who have lupus on prednisone are supposed to have diabetes. I said, well, it's by the grace of God I don't have diabetes, something in my mouth. And it's by his grace that I don't have it, and I try, and I eat right, not try, I eat right, things that I need. I don't eat all day long, like today we're going to cook, we're going to make a chicken salad with raisins and some other good stuff in it. And we like things like that, that's fun and healthy and, just good food. That's what we like, good food. So, Ed, are you there?
That I still believe
I am
there's
here.
some love between me and Sharon
Is it
Osbourne.
time for us to go home?
Yeah, you got about a minute left.
Oh, well, it's time for us to go home.
Yeah.
Again, I don't want any of you guys to not tune in. We have a link. I just put it out there again and again, and Dolores is going to put it out there every other day in relation to lupus insurance and lupus. We all need to be a part of that. We all need to listen. Those that have autoimmune diseases, it's very hard for us to get insurance. An example of myself, I got kicked out of Farmers because they went up too high, 400, then you want to go up to 600. I can't afford that. So, I went to the gentleman that's going to be on the show, and that's very important. He gave me some substantial amount that we will talk about of insurance that will definitely help me and help my family when I pass on.
Okay. All righty. Well, thank you for that. And thank you, everyone, for this edition of the Lupus Talks. And for you guys, you can always go to the website at lupusofnevada.org. And you can also check it out on the YouTube channel at Lupus of Nevada. We're going to be posting all of the videos that we've been sharing on social media as well as the website. So you guys can check it out, fill out the information if you have any questions. Any thoughts that you have about the show or about something that you're dealing with personally, you can always submit that, and we'll be happy to answer that on your behalf. So with that, we're going to close it out. Next week, like you said, the 17th, we have a special guest on the show. So we'll be ready for that impactful show. That's going to be informative for every listener that watches and tune into this. So with that, any last words, Dr. Williams?
Just thank you for being a part of the victory that we got going on here with Lupus of Nevada, and I thank God.
All right. Dolores?
And like they always say, they have a term, they say, healthy is wealthy. So we just continue to take care of ourselves.
All righty. I love that. All right. Y'all have a great evening, great afternoon, and we'll see you guys again next week. Peace and love.
Okay, bye.
Right.